I used to say, well, it's the first time that the United Nations convene reflection, global reflection on a important crisis, global crisis on the water planet, on the blue planet, a crisis that is accelerated and deepened by the climate change. It's the first time in nearly 50 years. Why? Well, because the UN is weak in the front of water and sanitation and aquatic ecosystems. And this is the private sector who has taken their capacity for convoking and preparing things that perhaps it was more normal, that was organized and proposed by the United Nations. But it's not a criticism against the private sector. It's the conscious that we need to reflect on this so limited capacities. I used to put this example. Imagine that we don't have, it doesn't exist, the WHO. And it is the pharmaceutical lobby sector who organize every 2-3 years the meetings, global meetings for discussing on the health around the world. But in this occasion, after the pandemic, is the UN who finally convene. So it would be an expectation, incredible, an incredible expectation. This is the case for the conference. So for me, it's a great opportunity for trying to looking at the responsibilities, public responsibilities of the UN, what to do with water, and opening the space of the conference in the future to the water defenders, the people who are the right holders, but are invisible, even persecuted, or sometimes killed, as my friend, my sister Berta Cáceres in Honduras, And why? Well, because they are defending the human right to safe drinking water and sanitation, or they are defending the rivers. So what I am addressing to the UN is, please reflect with everybody, receive the people that comes. This time there is an alternative conference. Everyone come to the conference. So it's a great opportunity for opening the United Nations in a dialogue and cooperation with the water defenders as right holders.
I really like that you mentioned how important water is, and I believe water is at the center of so many issues, and many at times we've had water discussions being at the sidelines, and looking at other discussions of other issues being discussed annually and serious conversations around it. But when it comes to water, it's just like a by the way discussion, which is not really good. And maybe you can just share with us what's the link between social justice and accountability.
For me, water is so important that must be managed under the responsibility of everybody. This is why it is a human right. It's not just a right for the ones who can pay. It's a human right for everybody, even for the 2 billion people without guaranteed access to safe drinking water, because they cannot afford for a bottle of water even. So in this where we have at least we have the means for having water. For me, in any case, being the operator, one or the other, is essential. That management of water has a democratic governance. It's not something just for a business. It's something for you, for me, for her, for everybody. So in this sense, transparency and social participation, this is essential. So for me, in this sense, accountability in the sense of transparency and participation, clear participation of the people is so important. And I used to put as a good example, I used to say water must be considered and managed as a common good, accessible for all, but not appropriable by anyone. So and not as a commodity. And in this sense, I say we have a very good example of the values at stake when we talk on common good in the indigenous communities. Everyone is responsible for this important thing that deals also with the health, with everything in the life of the community. So, of course, when we are in a big city like New York, it's not possible to have assemblies, every Sunday. No, but you have internet, we have many tools for having transparency, no secrets. No commercial, no secrets at all. It's something clear, open, under the control of citizens. So in this sense, I think accountability is essential.
And that's why at SWA we say justice begins here with accountability. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.